Okay, let's see if this works. You're fine, Daisy. Hello, everybody. Hello. Can you hear me good now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me good? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me plain and I'm not a robot. Hello, everyone coming in. Let's see if I can go through the list again. Sorry. Hello, Don Embry, Broken Branch, TJ, Busy Mama, me and you, Teresa Stott, TJ, we said that right, Busy Mama, Ginger Snap, Kathleen Cheney, Mama, Lisa King, Rhonda DeWinter, Mamo, Daisy Duke, she's having a test done. We'll pray for you, Daisy. Canadian True Crime, Brandy and Indy, Grace Paris, Charlene McPike. Let's see. Valley Gal, Busy Mama, Susan M, Melly Cat. Yes, please hit that like button. Okay, I think I got everybody. Okay, had to run through that really fast. Sorry, guys. I'm grateful always that you guys are here. We are about to hit our next mark. You know, I've got the 501 subscribers, and now the watch hours have actually gone up. I think I'm 1,000 watch hours away, and we will be able to have memberships, from my understanding, like everybody's wanting. I told my family, I said, you guys can hear me every day, you know, and these people want a membership to hear me. I feel honored. So anyways, I hope you guys are having a great day. There's things that I want to get into. One being, I listened to Mob Crew. That's what I was saying last night. Malikat, that'd be awesome. I can do memberships now? Really? I did not know that, TJ. It says I have to meet the qualifications of the watching hours. We'll have to have a talk then. See what I'm doing wrong. But we want to talk about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, to the ones that have not ever heard of this case. He was a 15-year-old boy. He went missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. Everyone says allegedly out of his home, but some do not think he made it home. TJ, no, I can't do the memberships until the watch hours are up a little more. And then after that, I can. That's my next goal. And we don't have much, you know, longer for that. I thought you was meaning I could. Sorry. But Sebastian went, hello, Leslie, come on in. Went missing. Some thinks he did not make it home from Texas Roadhouse. Some think that something may have happened in a home, allegedly. Everything on my channel is alleged, and in my opinion, we are speculating, not blaming anyone with anything. Let's pull our Fair Use Disclaimer Act up. This is for use of any material on the internet to use as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and research, okay? We are going to be pulling different bits and pieces out, but I want to, thanks, TJ, going to get you there. You're amazing. You guys are amazing. I have great community in here, and welcome everybody new. Hope you enjoy this. Hello, Deanna D. Sorry, you may have had to search for me. I'm so sorry. I'm going to read what our newest FBI paper was. I wanted to put it on screen, but I could not get it on screen for some reason. It's really hard to find now. On February 26, 2024, Katie Proudfoot went to wake up their 14-year-old son for school. To her surprise, he was nowhere to be found. We love you, Kiki. I love you too, Mama. Love you guys. Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers had spent the previous day with his mother. the previous day. The pair shopped at a department store. Okay. Hello, Pebbles, come on in. Department store. So, are we talking about BJ's? Is BJ's, I guess, a department store? I don't know. When I think of a department store, I think of like JCPenney's or something like that, you know? Anyways, played video games at a bowling alley for 10 minutes, allegedly, and had dinner at a local restaurant before heading home for the evening. Hello, Angel Wings. Come on in, honey. So the local restaurant being Texas Roadhouse. Guys, I'm just going to tell you some things really quick, and I'm not pulling them out until I deep dive and I know what I'm talking about. I'm working with some other creators to get their opinions on something, but I didn't actually bring out the people's names, but I brought out some comments in my lives previous to this. And the weird thing about it is that the things that were on the internet about those people that I'd found are no longer there. They've deleted them. They were on Facebook. They've deleted them. And you can't find them anymore. But I have screenshots. So I screenshot everything. Guess being paranoid. I don't know. But honestly, there's things that are gone from two different people. And it's really, really, really. I'd love to do a deep dive into Summer and Kathy. Take us on a trip. Grace. We may have to do that. After returning to their home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, Katie and Sebastian prepared for bed, saying goodnight sometime between 9 and 10. Katie told us a little bit before 10 she heard a loud bang. Before, it's been a thud, and now it's a bang. Okay? Coming from Sebastian's room. Y'all tell me what mama, in your opinion, is going to hear a loud bang and not go to the room. What is that? Come on. Come on. Let's be real. Let's be transparent. We're not ignorant. You know, we need a shirt that says that. I'm still waiting my Ola shirt, but we need a shirt that says we're not ignorant. Okay? It says, so she yelled out and asked him if he was okay, to which he responded that he was, said Detective Brandon Carter from Sumner County Sheriff's Office. She told him to go to bed because he had to get up early for school the next morning. Katie called her husband, who was out of town in Southwest Tennessee for work. So now we're at Southwest Tennessee. We were in Nashville, right? So Southwest Tennessee can be anywhere, right? Okay. Anyways, and the two of them spoke for nearly 2 hours before she went to sleep around midnight. The next morning was the beginning of what would become a massive search effort for Sebastian. Katie called her husband, told him that she couldn't find Sebastian, that he wasn't in his room or anywhere in the house. Remember, Carter said. Remember, she searched for a whole 3 minutes? Remember that? Katie got into her car and drove around the neighborhood into Sebastian's school, which was less than a mile away from her house, searching for Sebastian before returning home. I'm going to add, and I'm not going to say in my opinion, because we've seen the videos, but she had her windows rolled up. We all know this. Didn't knock on any doors that we know of. I agree, Kathy Gordon. During this time, her husband called the local emergency communication center to report Sebastian as missing. I'm going to read, guys. Do you know what local, what was it again? Good grief, I get so aggravated. Local Emergency Communication Center. Do y'all know what that is? Let's read that. Hang on. Local Emergency. I'm going to read this to y'all. Local Emergency Communication Center. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay. Local Emergency Communication Center. Let's be difficult here. We can dial 911, seeing how a child's missing, and that's kind of an emergency to me. But, anyways, it says it serves as the local emergency communication center dispatching police, fire, and ambulance services when you dial 911 for an emergency. So we can dial 911 if it's an emergency, folks. I'm not talking somebody gets their fingernail broke off, okay? But a missing child, that's an emergency, in my opinion. The center handles emergency calls and dispatches for the sheriff's office, police department, and various fire departments. For a life-threatening emergency or a crime in progress, you should call 911 immediately. We went over this several times. What the center does is telecommunicators determine the type of emergency. So Then they dispatch the responders, which is police, the appropriate police, fire, or medical units on scene. Okay. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to FBI. And I wanted to pull this on the screen, like I said. It says, in the early days of the search, it seemed Sebastian vanished without a trace. Okay, they're still saying there's no leads, correct? They're still saying there's no evidence, period. So why are we saying it seems that he vanished without a trace in the early days? Is that not what they're still thinking? I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're word playing, in my opinion, right here. The FBI Nashville Special Agent Robert Barrett says this case was kind of a question mark. Kind of a question mark. We have question marks all over the freaking place. What are they talking about? There's a question mark, and we've got to figure out what happened. Okay. So, okay. Sebastian did not take any clothes, shoes, blah, blah, blah. We all know that. The search consisted of a 4.5 mile radius. Okay. The mile radius is different. I remember that from Justin saying that to me. Can anyone in the chat please look up what a 4 mile radius covers as far as acres go? Can y'all do that for me? I meant to do that, but I wanted to see what that equaled because they're saying that it was 44,000 acres. Okay? That's what they're saying. 44,000. It says, in addition to ground searchers, law enforcement employed every available resource. Do you see how they're pulling resource in there? What does resource mean? Does resource mean that, the FBI lets you use something of theirs? This is alleged, in my opinion, okay? Were they actually searching there? They could have been. I don't know. I wasn't there. Mounted patrols, ATVs, search and rescue canines. That bothered me. Search and rescue canines. Okay? Had someone put something on my wall, and I forget her name. I'll have to go look. But it was said that there was scent dogs, but they were police dogs. Okay? And if they were scent dogs, then it wasn't for Sebastian's scent. They were picking up on something different. Okay? Okay. It says during day 2 of search, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office reached out to FBI for assistance. Okay. So, in specific resources, I want to know what they mean by resources. that could potentially help. So, okay. So here we go. TJ found out. They're saying 44,000 acres. Let's see here. Okay, 125.6 acres. A mile is 4,280 feet. Divide by 4. I'm so glad you're good at math, because I'm not. Okay, so the square feet in an acre, divide that by, so it was 44,000. You're fine, me and you. It was 44,000. Okay, just wanted to see. Here's another thing that bothers me. If we have a child that just walked out the door, okay, it says that Barrett contacted FBI Child Abduction Rapid Deployment for initial consults, and then they brought in the FBI Behavioral Analyst Unit to assist. Why are you going to call in abduction deployment if the boy walked out? If Sebastian walked out? Okay. It says, in addition, law enforcement searched almost every home in the neighborhood. Almost every home. So what home was not searched, in my opinion? And why are they not searching it? You know? Why did they not shut down the construction site when the search was going on? And we've said all this several times. But it also says video recordings from nearby homes in a dashboard camera in Katie's car. Okay. If Sebastian was in Katie's car, then can you show it to us? To show, or even his dad, at least his dad. Okay. Show it. Show that video to give his dad a little peace. Hello, Shelly. Come on in. It says a dashboard camera in Katie's car showed that Katie and Sebastian didn't leave the house after their return from dinner, and that no other cars were seen coming or going from. Now listen to the wordplay. Okay? Y'all remember that car setting that we have? Yeah, Lisa King, so much doesn't make sense. You remember the car that was sitting on the side of the road with the flashlights in the yard next to it, right? Okay. We saw that, guys. We know we saw that. I played the phone call from Bobby. In my opinion, we saw that. Bobby speaks on that after Sebastian first went missing, right? And I'm going to play those. Okay. It says, we have followed, let's see. They say their return home from dinner, and no other cars were seen coming or going from Katie's home. Okay, no, the car wasn't in her driveway. We're going to go around it, aren't we? But it was in the middle of the road. Hello, YouTuber, in my opinion. During the evening and early morning hours. Hang on just a second, guys. It's actually stating too, they followed every tip. They have nothing. And they're calling the lights video a rumor. Case rumors versus reality. 2 rumors in the search for Sebastian been disproven. Hello, his eyes. Come on in. A house down the street from Sebastian's had security video footage from the night of his disappearance. Now listen, guys. Hello, Narita. You remember, if you heard Bobby's video, okay? If you heard that, she was saying that Ellie, and this is coming from her, really, okay, Shelly, thank you for, hang on, I'm pulling that up. That's my whole thought. right there. Okay. My thing is, sorry, I got sidetracked. My thing is, guys, that Bobby literally called out the flashlight videos because she said that the elderly couple next to her that had the footage, that Ellie allegedly told her that wasn't right what they were seeing. And I'm going to play that. That's not hearsay. That's from her mouth on the phone call with UA and Crabtree. And we just went over that. Okay. But let's see here. Let's see. It says the camera angled in a direction that happened to be facing Sebastian's backyard captured two small moving lights. At the first glance, the lights appeared to be right in Sebastian's yard. My question is, why are they trying to discourage any evidence, in my opinion? Why are we trying to turn the blind eye here? Write your opinions in the comments, guys. Hang on just a second for me, please. Okay, guys, sorry, I'm back. My little one wanted chocolate ice cream, and I'm the only one here, so sorry about that. It says, however, when law enforcement further investigated the video, they disproved this theory. Well, according to Bobby, they tried to discredit this before they even got into it, right? Sorry, his eyes. I didn't go poof. My little one said, I want chocolate ice cream. Rhonda, I think so too, in my opinion. I think so too. We need to just call it out, man. I am so sick of this. People runs with scissors. Yeah, they're trying to sweep it under the rug, but they'll never change my mind. We did hear this, but I want you to listen closely to what Bobby says one more time, and I got other things, okay? First off, let's play something. Okay? I'm going to play my video from my YouTube. I want y'all to pay attention to Chris's face when Nancy Grace is talking about this. I want you to pay attention very close.
You say earlier, Mr. Proudfoot, that your neighbors have been very, very forthcoming with their Ring camera info. And I was trying to determine if any lights were on, what, if anything, they may have caught, but I understand from your previous interviews that nothing of any evidentiary value was caught. And also, in another statement you gave, I understand that the video of the two flashlights, and I'm saying that with air quotes, that's not exactly what that was at all. We now don't believe that two flashlights were observed around your home. Is that correct?
You're very correct.
Okay, did y'all see his smile? Which he said, those two flashlights are not of any evidentiary value, are they? Because that's what's being told. And Chris smiles with a grin. Yes, yes. What freaking parents, guys, are going to sit there and smile? Yeah, there's no evidence. Yeah, I'm so happy. I mean, come on. Get with the program. We're not ignorant, Chris. We're not ignorant, Katie. Something's going to give. One of these days, in my opinion, something's going to happen, and we're going to see this. We're going to see it. I want you to see who's actually suffering, guys. I'm going to pull this up. Oh, it just makes me sick to my stomach. And this is trigger warning because I literally cried when I seen this. When I saw, guys, when I seen Seth on this, and this is credit to Evil Exists, okay? Whoever, my mods, if you don't care to drop that, please. My mind's going 100 miles an hour. We need to be aggravated at this. Enough's enough. You should not. I'm trying to share this, and it's not doing it. Hang on. Enough's enough, guys. And Sebastian needs to be home with his dad, which is Seth Rogers. And whoever's responsible needs to be sent behind bars, in my opinion.
Hi, Daddy. Sorry to too long. Please hold. I love you. Bye. Your wish was song? It just started. Hi, Dad. I know this is gonna sound weird, but tomorrow's picture day. So could you send some decent clothes over to me so that I can wear the decent clothes and be handsome for my birthday? Are you saying we don't have decent clothes? Mom, do you let me wear whatever I want to wear for picture day? Clothes for picture day. Mom, okay. I need to get people clothes. I know. Will you please send decent?
Thank you, Seth.
I'm sorry.
So his voice hadn't changed yet, or had it changed by the time he was 15?
It did. His voice started to change not about 14 and a half years old.
Precious.
I can't do this anymore.
Bye, Seth. Thank you.
Guys, right there, that's the man that's suffering. He's not going to Disney. He's not going out to buy freaking lizards. He's not going out to restaurants. You know, he may go out to eat, but I'm sure he's not like, you know, he would love to have his son with him. Just makes me completely nauseated that anybody, I mean, come on. I'm so frustrated with all this. I really am. I can't imagine what Seth has happened to go through. Cannot imagine. Okay, let's move forward. We're going to go to Nick Barris's interview from a while back when the Lights video came out. And now they're discrediting him. They're discrediting anything to do with this. They're discrediting anybody. And then we're going to hear Bobby speak. Okay? Hang on just a second. Let me add this. This is all going to tie together, guys. I promise. We've seen this 100 times, but it is very important to go back and look again at all this. Let me get this rolling. Credit goes to channel News Channel 5 in Nashville. And we are going to push play. It should click on in just a minute, guys. Sorry. Be patient, please.
We begin with a surprising development in the search for 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers, who's been missing for 18 days. An exclusive look at new video evidence. Thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Rory Johnson.
And I'm Hunter Hogan with a lot to get to here tonight. Authorities have scrutinized home security video from that Hendersonville neighborhood, trying to learn what happened to that teen with autism.
It's skipping a little bit, guys. No, my laptop. It's not my laptop.
Here's to show 2 people near Sebastian's home the night his parents said he disappeared.
The video you are about to see is from early Monday morning, February 26th, around 3:10 a.m. Now, there are no street lights in the Stafford Court neighborhood. Here are these 2 points of light believed to be people with flashlights in the area around Sebastian Rogers' Hendersonville home. It is believed Sebastian left his home barefoot and with a flashlight sometime overnight. Since his disappearance, authorities have reviewed security video from homes in the neighborhood looking for clues.
We have had several clips that have come in,
and this one is getting the most attention, showing signs of activity around Sebastian's home the night he disappeared. You see 2 light sources, which we've circled to help you follow. For point of reference, the security camera was pointed toward the back of Sebastian's home in a common area. In the video, you see subject 1 with a light source in the lower right-hand corner. Then you see subject 2 briefly appear and move toward the first before that light source is covered or obscured by bushes. Subject 1, a few seconds later, then moves out of frame. Then subject 2 reappears and follows subject 1 off screen. It's a short time later, and it's very vague, but then I know there's not much to see here. You certainly cannot identify anyone, But those close to the investigation tell me the mere fact that there is now evidence that someone is in the area around Sebastian's home is significant. This video shows suspicious activity in the immediate area the night Sebastian disappeared. Could one of these subjects have been Sebastian? Did he meet and leave with someone? Sebastian's father says his son would not go with a stranger.
It's up in the air for me because I don't think he would get into a vehicle with somebody unless he knew them.
So what exactly are we seeing here? I know investigators are doing what they can to try enhancing the video for any more clues. For now, this video is now part of the Sebastian Rogers missing person file, and I'm told it could become more significant depending on where the ongoing investigation leads. We'll be following that. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Okay, guys, again, if it's an ongoing investigation, okay, an investigation, that does not tell me, hello, Carla, come on in. That in Wild Child for Life, come on in, come on in. Thank you, mods, for welcoming everyone. If it's an investigation, come on, guys, then a child did not walk out. You don't investigate, in my opinion, a child walking out. Okay? In my opinion. Let's see here. Okay. Here's where Bobby was talking about what they saw on the video camera of the footage of the neighbor. The neighbor's footage. And we know they had to be talking about this, in my opinion. Yeah. What's odd, it took over 18 months to debunk this. I don't see anything as debunked, in my opinion, because of all the back and forth and flipping lies all the time. And I've played this, and I won't play the whole thing, but this is Lady Freedom. I want you guys to listen close to this beginning right here. Okay? Listen very close if my internet will work.
The people next door, I told you that they didn't think it's an older couple. They came back to the front corner and back corner of their house, and they told TBI and Sheriff's Office Department that their camera wasn't working. Well, they came back 2 weeks later and went around, and I told you they started the search all over again, literally from ground one. They knocked on their door and asked them, do you guys have cameras? They said, yes, but they're not working. And the guy looked at them and said, that's okay. Can we see it anyway? And sure enough, their cameras actually were working, and there was a black blob with something thrown over the person's shoulders, walking in between their houses. They carried something over their shoulders over that ditch. And I'm telling you right now, Katie Crawford being in the military, that woman is strong. I guarantee you she carried him over that and probably gave him to Chris standing on the other side. Because there was something that walked across in between those houses. But here's the thing that I wanted you to hear, that
Do you guys hear what she is saying? Do you hear what she's saying? Let's run it back by. Before long, thank God Lady Freedom had this, because you cannot find this phone call anywhere that I've searched besides on Lady Freedom's. And it's even hard to find on hers, guys. Something's just not right. Listen again. The neighbors had cameras. They thought they weren't working that night. But the law enforcement wanted to see the cameras anyways. Okay? Then they tried to discredit what the neighbors and Bobby had seen.
the people next door, before, I told you that they didn't see, because it's an older couple. They've got cameras on the front corner and back corner of their house, and they told TBI and Sheriff's Office Department that their camera wasn't working. Well, they came back 2 weeks later and went around, and I told you they started the search all over again, literally from ground one. They knocked on their door and asked them, do you guys have cameras? And they said yes, if they're not working. And the guy looked at them and said, that's okay, can we see it anyway? And sure enough, their cameras actually were working, and there is a black blob with something thrown over the person's shoulders walking in between their houses. They carried something over their shoulders over that ditch. And I tell you right now, Katie Crawford being in the military, that woman is strong.
Okay, my question is, did law enforcement question Bobby? We don't know, in our opinions, who was actually questioned, right? We don't know at this point. So was Bobby actually, we've not heard anything from Bobby since this phone call, right? So was she actually questioned by law enforcement? Was she taken serious? Was anybody else questioned, brought in? Not that I know of. It's just insane to me. Let's see. Wild Child, let's see what you say. I do not believe they got SS of any kind for Sebastian. Eligibility is based on income. My grandson, nonverbal autistic, its parents working and make too much money for him. Gotcha. It's being said that they did. But yes, YouTuber. My question is, did Bobby, in my opinion, if she saw this and she's telling the truth, why was she not questioned right then and there? And then people that were around the area brought in. This is enough, in my opinion, to make this case criminal. That's in my opinion. I'm not law enforcement. I can't judge people. What do you think? What do you guys think? For somebody to say that when the child just went missing, days before this phone call or weeks, whenever, why, when she is literally saying that they saw 2 light sources coming from that area and saw a blob thrown over someone's shoulder and a car sitting there, why on God's green earth is law enforcement not questioning Bobby? Tell me that. And if they did, where is that? What was her statement? Yes. Yes, Narita. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. This makes me sick because it's quite obvious. It is very, very obvious that somebody's not in trouble. And in my opinion, they know exactly who's responsible. And that's my opinion. But they just want to make, yes, YouTuber. Yes. Carla. I wanted to read something to you guys if I can find it. And this is from 2020. But I found something on where TB, and this is going to tick y'all off. This is going to, yeah. Let me see if I can find it. TB is, hang on. Sorry. Got to pull it up. TB is actually commenting back in 2020 . evidently Nashville or somewhere had a protest, riots, or something going on. Okay, I think it was riots, and I'm not for riots. Okay, but the comments that he was making on here, I've got to find it. Daggone. I had it somewhere. Hang on. Trying to find it on here. Okay. It's on News Channel 5 Nashville on their Facebook in 2020, and I'll have to probably bring it up to another live. But he's basically commenting some racial things, in my opinion, and also talking about just need to get a water hose and spray them all the way off of the sidewalks. He's treating people like animals on that post. I've got to find it. I had it. Let me see if I can. Hang on, guys. I'm going to try to bring it up because this is the kind of flipping evil people that Seth and everybody's having to deal with, in my opinion, while he hurts. Okay, I can pull it up on my email and read it to you guys. Hang on. Let me find it. Okay. I'm going to read it. It's a news article, News Channel 5, Nashville, and I'll put these on a short or something like that. But I can't see your comments, okay? It's News Channel 5 on Facebook, Carla H. Okay? And it's under, hang on, I'll read it to you. It's News Channel 5 Nashville. It's dated June 23rd, 2020. It says THP troopers removed demonstrators' items from Legislative Plaza, but it didn't take long for the group to bring more items back to the area. Activists say the incident did not deter them, rather it reinvigorated their efforts. And I'm not saying that I push for violence. I think if you're going to protest, you protest peacefully and in the right manner. But these comments from him, I was blown away. He says there's a lady calling him out for racist slurs. And this is Terry A. Bowersock Sr. That's what it says. He says, who brought color into this? I didn't. That picture is from 60-year-old battle of rights. Newsflash, that battle has already been won. The question that you should be asked is, what have the past couple of generations done with that victory? This was 4 years ago. I never believe anything until I see or hear it myself. I've watched all the YouTubes and all done from the sources themselves. Anyone that has watched them and heard the inconsistencies and lack of urgency, etc., will definitely have questions. Not posting blame, but have questions for sure. Would everything that has been done, not done, be the same if it was something else? Okay, that's a woman saying that to him. His comment, they need to be punished. Who says that, guys? Okay, he's talking about these protesters. Okay, and I'm not pushing if they done violence, I'm against that. Okay? Yeah. I want you to hear this. He says they need to be punished. What should happen to people that believe internet rumors and innuendos that have no basis of proof but continue to spread gossip? He also says Somebody's calling him out. Very racist statement, and that is the reason they're protesting, because of fools like you, this woman says to him. Okay, he says, he says, I love to spray you right in the face with one of those 4-inch fire hoses. Do the world a favor and all. That's what he says about people. And then this lady says, what you need is that you, Terry Bowersock Sr., what you need is that you need to bleach your mindset, had some education, because it seems like you don't know what is the meaning of a protest. He says, number one, first he says, clean the sidewalks with a couple of 4-inch fire hoses every day. Then he says, the right to peacefully assemble. They've done that. What they've not done is the right to interfere with commerce, block traffic, litter, sleep overnight. Where are they relieving themselves, tending to hygiene, etc.? Viable questions considering today's health issues. The right to have our grievances heard, that is done on the streets, is done in Congress area. To gain the attention of the law and due process, they need to follow the process, file a petition of grievances, and present it to Congress, just like any other motion that is to be done. All they're doing is showing the world that they intend to throw a Kroger fit until somebody gives them attention. But he's saying clean the sidewalks with 4-inch fire hoses. That's how the violence in him is saying to do. Sounds horrible. I wanted to bring those up too, but I didn't have time to download them. That was one of the most important things, I think. That is not a good person. Let people protest. I do not believe in violence whatsoever. I believe in peaceful protest. But these are people. I believe that anger was still there when Sebastian was in the home. I believe that anger radiated onto Katie and onto Chris, in my opinion. And it's no telling what Sebastian actually went through, in my opinion. But anyways, guys, let's pray Sebastian is found. I'm praying every day. I'm going to continue to pray. Pray for Seth. Good vibes, prayers. And there's just so much that is not right. So much. And when they say nothing's of evidentiary value, I think it is, in my opinion. We have opinions and we can do our opinions. We can say our opinions. I think if you're not one of them, you're not right in the world, in my opinion. Sebastian lived in hell. Yes. I believe so, in my opinion. Yeah, Teresa, exactly. That reminds me of the incident with the pressure washer. Does anybody know if that really happened? Broken Branch, JLR did it originally. Yeah. That was back in 2020 when he wrote that on News Channel 5. Y'all can find that on Facebook. It's awful weird how when we mention certain things get deleted. No, me and you, they have not released the bowling video. Grace, though, the neighbors saw him getting done that way. Really? It's right here in open air, guys, in my opinion. But yet they say no evidence. I call it bull. And right now they are actually the troops are over in Nashville. And as we seen the judge yesterday out in Nashville, was I'm reading chat, sorry. He was mentioning corruption out there in that area himself. Y'all need to go watch that video. I can't play the entirety. I'll play in short segments. Deanna, in my opinion, when all said and done, there will be numerous people charged with it. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, Carla, yes. In my opinion, yeah. But I'm praying to the good Lord above that if the president's right there, he can scoot a right on over. Because I did send a message, and I know others have sent messages to the White House. Y'all think we're crazy, but look, they went to Nashville. They're trying to clean up the crime over there, guys, regardless of who's president. Bring Sebastian home to his daddy, yes. President's in the UK. Well, he's got the troops. He's got the troops over there, Grace. Need to look at that. I respect any president, whoever it may be, trying to get the crimes and the criminals out of the U.S. I do. Whoever it may be. I don't care what side you're on. All right. Let's say some prayers, guys. Pray for Sebastian. Pray for Seth. Let's pray. Thank you, Carla, for hitting that like button. Let's pray to the good Lord above that they scoot on over and they find what's going on in there, because it sounded like Nashville was. I know Hendersonville is not as bad, in my opinion, but allegedly sounded like Nashville was like mimicking, in my opinion. Love you guys. Thank you, TJ. Thank you, mods. Thank you, chat. Love you guys, and we'll get to memberships before long, I hope. I've resent and sent to his daddy. Thank you, Kiki. Nashville's the hub of everything. TJ? Yeah. Not Nashville. They went to Memphis. I'm sorry. He was saying that Memphis was a big, big area for trafficking a lot of things. So let's get Kiki a new laptop. My laptop's fine, Grace. It's fine. My internet wasn't working good at that time. Thank you guys. Love y'all. Have fun in the YouTube streets today. Stay out of trouble. Love y'all. Bye.